Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about two different situations where we get slopes. Okay, so now in general, we can only calculate slopes for non-vertical lines. Okay, and here's why. When you have a vertical line, well, we talked about this before. If you have a vertical line, no matter what the y values are, so you can take 2 points, any 2 points on the line, and this you're going to have, let's say, y1, x1. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm concentrating on the y's. So x1, y1, and we have x2, y2. Well, in this case here, it's a vertical line. The y values are going to be different, but the x values are going to be the same. And so in this case, x1 equals x2. Well, what happens? What's the change in x? Well, the change in x is going to be 0, right? So we're going to get 0 in the denominator, so which is undefined. We can't have 0 in the denominator, okay? So that's why if we have a vertical line, it's an undefined slope, because we can't solve this division. Okay, so anytime we get the denominator equal to 0 when we're calculating slope, we call that undefined. So we would say the slope is undefined, and that's just what we would write. We just write undefined if that's the situation. Now, that happens only with vertical lines. So if you get an undefined slope, you should know immediately that you're dealing with a vertical line. Okay, so now, what about horizontal lines? Well, horizontal lines are where instead of the x values being the same, the y values are the same. Right? We talked about this before. A little bit of review. Right? So here we have x1, y1, and here we have x2, y2. And so now in this case here, it's a horizontal line, so the x values are going to be different, but the y values are going to be the same. And so what's going to happen here? What's the change in y? Well, the change in y is going to be 0. So we're going to get 0 in the denominator, and we'll get something else here, or excuse me, 0 in the numerator, and we'll get something else in the denominator. And that's okay though, because that means the slope is going to be equal to 0. And that's okay. We can have 0 in the numerator, we just can't have 0 in the denominator. Okay? So this is okay. That just tells us that we have a horizontal line. So the thing to remember is, if you get a slope that's undefined, you have a vertical line. Or if you have a vertical line, you know that the line is vertical, you know the slope has to be undefined. Okay? If you have a horizontal line, you know that the slope must be what? 0. If you know that the slope is 0, then guess what? You know you're dealing with a horizontal line. And that's it. So that's all there is to this one. So we're going to do some examples next time, and we're going to work with some points. We're going to find the slope between 2 points and see what we come up with.